Welcome back, YouTube viewers. You are watching another video of Rob41593's Game of Thrones Season 2, Episode 3, What is Dead May Never Die. Alright, a lot happened in this episode. A lot of good things, a lot of bad. Let's start off with Winterfell. We saw Bronn in this episode waking up from a dream and talking to Master Luwin about his dreams of him as some sort of a creature, a wolf perhaps. Bronn has a discussion with Master Luwin about magic and how it's disappeared over the years. Over hundreds of years, I should say. We also hear mentions of giants from Master Luwin and children of the forest. Children of the forest might be referring to the north, maybe the trees that they worship, probably referring to that. That's my guess. So we get this little nice discussion between them and in Winterfell, and see through Bronn's eyes, maybe like one day he could study these forms of magic. That's basically it for Winterfell. We go from there to back to the Night's Watch. We see the repercussions of Jon Snow's actions of following Craster through the forest and exploring and seeing what he was doing with that baby. We can assume he was We learned from the discussion between him and Commander Mormont that the baby is actually a sacrifice to the White Walkers, or the others, if you want to call them that. Jon is taken aback by this because he realizes that Mormont knew this whole time that Craster was sacrificing his sons to these monsters. And Mormont lets this happen because without men like Craster, he says, that the Night's Watch wouldn't be able to travel beyond the wall and have a safe place to stay at. Without this, they would be trapped in blizzard wastelands and couldn't explore the area or terrain. So Jon is learning the hard decisions of following and learning to follow, as we saw in episode 2. So Jon's being tested with new responsibilities of following Mormont and living up to his wishes. We also see Samwell Tarly talking to one of Craster's wildling daughters, Gilly. I think he gives her a token before he goes to just promise that he would return to her and make sure he takes her to safety. He gives her a piece of a sewing kit, I think, that belonged to his mother. So maybe he will develop a relationship with Gilly because of the promise he made to come back to her. I thought this was a nice little moment where we saw Sam still acting naive, but yet gaining strength in knowing that he has a goal to come back to Gilly. And it's nice to see Sam have a friend outside of Jon Snow and have it in Gilly. This is his first girl he's ever basically been friends with. She even calls him brave in the last episode. So he's attracted to her. And I can see why, because Gilly looks naive, but there's still a mystery behind her, I think. And Sam, he's just he's the most kind-hearted guy in the Game of Thrones series, I think. And he's placed in the most deadliest place, which is north of the wall, which is ironic. So we know that he has a lot of pressure on him, and we'll see if he will survive this journey to the north, or if he won't. I mean, anything could happen. Anything could happen in this series. We saw that with the Dothraki rider who got killed, who survived in the books. Anyone could live or die. Even if you read the books, you don't know for sure. After North of the Wall, we will head over to the new location, which is Renly's army. We finally see Lady Catelyn Stark reach her destination, talk to Renly Baratheon, who is the youngest brother of who is the younger brother of Stannis Baratheon. Catelyn is trying to win support for Robb, and this was kind of a throwback because we barely saw dialogue between her and Renly. Renly kind of brushed her off to the side after Catelyn said that her son was winning a war, not playing at one. The first thing she sees is them basically fighting in this little tourney they had set up between this giant woman named Brenny and one of Renly's Kingsguard named Loras, which is actually Renly's secret lover. So we know that they're not really taking this war very seriously at all. Catelyn says that they're the warriors of summer, and winter is coming, which means that they don't have any experience with battle. Once they reach King's Landing, if they reach King's Landing, they're going to take heavy losses because they're inexperienced and they're not ready to fight. And Catelyn thinks that probably Renly isn't the best leader, but he's the only one that might side with Robb. He never gave an answer yes or no to Catelyn Stark, but he did say that he would take King Joffrey's head and give it to her, which I don't think Catelyn wants. She just wants her daughters back. You have to realize that. She just wants to see her little girls, and then everything will be okay. She wants her family to be united again. After Ned died, she lost a huge part of her soul. And we'll see that after effect later in the series. Possibly next episode, maybe. So, let's explore Renly's character a little bit more. Renly is an interesting guy. I like him. He's a very complex character. In one area, he is acting as a king, as a leader towards his men. He appears very strong. He's very lovable with everyone else. A lot of people like him. He's got 100,000 men at his back, so you know that he has a lot of power. And Renly didn't get this power by just overnight. He had to earn it by marrying Margaery Tyrell, which is a brand new character introduced. The Tyrells, or Tyrells, as they're pronounced in this series, I think, are a brand new family. They live in the south. Their nickname is Knights of the Flowers, I think, because of their luscious lands. So he married into her family, which is very wealthy, and I think very powerful family that rivals only the Lannisters. So you know Renly has a lot of support in this. Now the other side, besides his leadership role, is his secrets. He keeps his uncertainty of himself and of his leadership, which he hides basically with Sir Loras, one of his King's Guard. But Sir Loras is his male lover, which might come as a huge turnoff to a lot of people watching the Game of Thrones series. Understandably, I know why, but I mean, come on. It's a show meant for adults, guys. Suck it up if you don't like it. So we see a conversation between him and Sir Loras realizes that people are talking about them behind their backs. Some people have rumors of Sir Loras and Renly together because Renly does not want to bed Margaery Tyrell, but he needs to in order to secure his alliance between Margaery and bore a son with her. And Sir Loras pressures him to do this, and finally he asks Margaery. Sir Loras, I think, brings Margaery to his bed. And Renly is turned off by this because he only is interested in men and is put it off by Margaery. We see Margaery's character act as a very dutiful person, and also a mixture between kind-hearted and mysterious, kind of. That's the vibe I got from her. was kind-hearted and mysterious, but you know there's something beneath it that she's planning or something. What I like about her character too is that she's very blunt and to the point, without being rude. She says in a sweet manner that she knows what is going on between him and her brother, and she's fine with that. She just wants him to put a son in her, to seal this agreement, to ensure his reign as king. So that's basically it for Renly, Sir Loras, and Marjorie Tyrell. Let's go back to Catelyn and Brienne. However you pronounce it. I give up. We see... I thought I saw a surprising connection between Catelyn and Brienne, because when the line between the dialogue between her and Brienne, as Brienne was leading Catelyn to the tent, was very familiar, because it related to the same dialogue she has with Arya, if you notice that. When Brienne says, "I'm no lady," that reminded me of Arya, and I even saw a smile on Catelyn's face when Brienne said that and retreated back to her tent. So maybe they'll form a friendship, because Catelyn is missing her daughters, and she needs a friendship. She needs a friend right now, because she was kind of shipped away from her son Robb in episode 1 of season 2. So she really needs somebody to talk to, and I think that one's gonna be Brienne. All right, moving from Renly's camp, let's go to Pike. Pike had the most prominent theme in this episode, I think. We saw Theon again, sort of struggling to come to terms of who he should side with. Should it be his father, Lord Greyjoy, or his basically stepbrother, which is Robb Stark? We see Theon struggle, and I think they did a better job of Theon struggling in the show than they did in the books. I really like Theon's character in the show now. I know episode before he was a bastard. I really hated him, but now I'm sympathizing with him a little bit. We saw a lot of good dialogue between him and his father and his sister, with him and Balon Greyjoy brawling it out with words, and even Balon Greyjoy backslapping Theon in the face was just surprising, because Theon was trying to grasp why his father hates him. His father gave him away from as a result of the rebellion that they had 9 years ago, that was silenced by King Robert and Ned Stark. And now Balon Greyjoy finally has his son back, and Theon addresses this, that he finally has his son back, but he shuns him, which I think Balon Greyjoy shuns Theon because he knows that Theon was his biggest failure, and not as raising him, but as not raising him, as losing him. Seeing Theon come back to him with Robb Stark's message is kind of a slap in the face to him. Not an intentional slap in the face, but mentally. His pride is hurt. His honor's hurt, because now he sees his son not paying the iron price but the golden price. So he's struggling to accept his son again, even though, because it is hurtful, because it reminds him of his own greatest failure as a leader, probably, and that's why he hates Theon. We see this being resolved, however, which was very nice in the episode, where Theon actually gets sort of baptized by what they call the drowned god, I think, is another religion that is now added to the Westeros theme, is the Drowned God. So we'll add that to our religion list of Game of Thrones. So we see him being baptized, being reunited into the Greyjoy family, and we see his father looking at him with such fierce ferocity that I think he knows that he has his son back now. We even see Theon giving 100% loyalty by actually burning the warning note he was actually going to give to Robb.